But it's hard for people because they know that decision, that young man making that decision, some of them homeboys are not going to be available. Like they can't come.
So I was going to ask you this because I wanted to kind of look at who John Morant was. So now I've saw that he grew up in a two-parent household. Now it wasn't really clear as far as like if he grew up in the hood or not. Said that we have some technical difficulties with sound, so you guys let us know if you can hear us now. We apologize. We were just going in. The mic was muted, evidently.
Was it?
That's what we
Wow.
got a message. I don't know. But hopefully you guys can hear us okay now. I do believe that we should be okay. So apologies. But so looking into really who he is and his upbringing and things like that. And so, and I guess what I want to know is this really a classic case of knowing from a friend perspective, like really knowing where you knowing that everybody can't go, right? Like knowing that as once you reach a certain level, a certain status in life, once you finally get to the place of where you really want to be, making the money that you want to make, living the way you want to live, like there has to be something that needs to click inside of you or in the people around you that's advising you to say that you gotta, I don't want to say switch up, but you gotta move accordingly. You have to move, you gotta elevate. You can't,
Well, some of
you
that's not
know
realistic. Some of that's not realistic, to be perfectly honest. Like you gotta have now, this is where his parents have to
Mhm,
step up,
mhm.
and it's tough, but and this is what the raising kids situation has to definitely be on point. This is what I mean by that, right? Because if his dad and mom weren't well to do, it's a good chance that they've put all they had into making sure this young man can be in the space where he is right now.
Mhm.
And but this is what we gotta be watchful and mindful of what our kids see when we are raising them. Because if that's what all that mattered to you when you were raising them, that's going to come back to bite you. Because now he's taking care of everybody. See,
Mhm.
one thing, my son loves basketball, but one thing he's always heard me say, hey, you're going to be successful wherever you play basketball or not.
Right.
I've not done things with basketball for him because I got a life too.
Mhm.
And I'm running a business. I run multiple businesses. I have things to do. I have people that count on me. I say, man, you're not playing basketball this month because we're focused on what your sister's doing right now. And I do all this because you have to understand that this is not everything. And this is not what your dad is counting on for him to be successful. And so when he does, if that was the case and he made it to where he wanted to be he's going to be an NBA player, you can't hold that over my head.
Right.
And you don't understand what these conversations probably look like when you try to tell him what not to do. And he's like, I'm feeding you. I'm the reason why you have this type of scenario. You see what I'm saying? So in this space, you have to actually be cognizant of how you're raising your child and what you're making so super important to them. You know, because it's no outlet for him. And we can't say to him, like, you get this money, you go from nothing to everything.
Right.
He still got to grow up.
Right.
He still have to grow up. And you're not going to grow up just like that because you got money. When people know about money, the more money you get, who you really are already elevates and comes out. So this kid who would have been, just getting out of college or working a real good job would have, if he was, saved up and bought a pistol, he'd have been in the car rapping the Big 30 or Moneybag Yo or whoever, talking about the ops.
Yeah.
But he's still doing that with millions of dollars because he hasn't grown up yet. And then he don't obviously have the people around him to say, hey, we're going to do this different. And that's not how we moving.
Mhm.
Again, you'll see it because he won't be with the same people. And I hate if that it be by force, but it doesn't have to be. When you grow up
Yeah.
and you get your money incrementally and you're working hard, not to say that he's not working hard, but I'm just saying athletes get everything. most people don't become millionaires till they're 50 or older, right?
Correct.
So when you grow, you gradually get to drop off bad friends. You gradually get to move away from bad situations. You gradually get to do these things. So it's not just thrown on you all the time. The majority of times it's like, I had my time to screw off as a teenager. Okay, grew up, went to college. Some of the people I screwed off with as teenagers is left home or left away from there. Now I met some people in college and we screwing off in our 20s. Well, I've grown past that. My career now is, because jobs do it. You might have the crappy job first, but then once you get that real career job, hey, they like, man, you going out? Nah, I'm working 10-hour days. I'm in the office all day. I'm about to make manager. I'm about to, become a partner. I'm about to do this. I got this, and I'm getting my master's degree. That's life. It's just happening incrementally. Boom, it just hit him like that. Right. These my homies. This is the gang. That's what they say.
That is exactly what they say. Now, one of the things that you've said recently was the scariest thing in the world is getting exactly what you asked for.
Oh, yeah.
Like, listen, so, any parent or any kid that's made it to the NBA or whatever the sport, there's always that story of we worked hard, the families put their energy in there. Like, we know that people take on debt to make sure that their kids can play at the level that they want them to play. And parents are traveling all over the country or giving their kids opportunities, even in other countries, so that they can continue to improve their skill set because they have this dream. My kid is going to be the next NBA player, the next Magic Johnson, the next Dr. J, like the next person. That's one. And we're going to put all of our energy in there. But we work for that. We plan for that. Parents pray for that. Hey, Kevin, they pray for that. But then the kid gets it. But as Jay said earlier, when we started talking on the video, is that then it changes, and then the dynamic of the relationship changes. Now it's you're no longer mom and dad. Now you're a responsibility to me. And because you're a responsibility to me, then that means that I'm the breadwinner. So you have to listen and do what it is that I said, because the one person that we have not heard from in all of these incidences involving Ja Morant is his dad, who we see every game on the sideline, in the news, standing up for him. It's too easy. Y'all see him when he's in the games, right? I love sports. Y'all see him when he's in the games. I love sports. He like this. It's too easy. So he's celebrating and all of that when Ja's making all the points and the shots and he's doing the things that he know that he can do. But times like this, when we need to hear his voice, we don't hear it. But that goes back to what Jay said, is that what can I say if my son is taking care of me? And I am sure that just like he's living better than he ever has, so is his parents.
Yeah.
And that changes that dynamic. But that point of the scariest thing in the world is getting what you ask, because it hits you so fast and you immediately get this wealth seemingly overnight. And then it's like, okay, now what? I got my day ones. You know what I'm saying? And Drake telling us no new friends. So we got that, but it's like, okay, but my day ones, they still doing like this. Maybe he trying to let it go. I don't know, but it's got a stronghold on him. So it's like,
he's what just a kid, man. Yeah. He's just a kid. And it just is what it is. We keep thinking that money don't make you into a superhero, yo. Like, he's just a kid. And he has to grow out of it. Those kids is going to have to do something to make him mad. They're going to have to blow it. They're going to have to piss him off, and then that's when he's going to cut him loose. You know what I'm saying? So but right now they're good, man. Like, look, you have friends when you were a kid that your mom was like, man, I want you around that person. Yep. But to you, they good. Like, yo, that's my dude. That's my guy. Like, what you talking about, mama? Like, and he barely speak when he come to my house. Nah, like, because you have these things, these embedded scenarios that a lot of kids don't understand at the time. Later on, you might not end up being with that person anyway, hanging with them, but you had to go through what you had to go through first. They had to piss you off. They had to show you that it like whatever your mother was saying or your dad was saying, they had to show it to you. You know what I'm saying? And so it just hasn't been shown yet. But one of them run off with some money. One of them, do something ain't got no business doing to him. Yeah, he'll cut him loose, and then he's not going to go back. But that's especially people who can do that ahead of time, because what the piggyback of what you said, they're not just asking for what they want. or praying for what they want. They're preparing for what they want.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you prepare for what you want,
Yep.
you can actually start seeing who's supposed to be there
Yes.
in that space, who's not supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like when you a business owner, you look at your family members. You got a sister, you got a mama, you got cousins. Nah, man, cousin Ricky ain't no way in hell I'm gonna put him behind the register.
Right. Ricky gonna steal.
Boy, Ricky, you can be out there stealing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He gonna be in the club with all my money. Like, cause you know that. You pay attention. Ain't no love. You like, man, mama gonna be in there trying to tell me what to do. Cuss people out.
Yep.
All that other stuff. Nah, I love you, mama. I'd rather just give you some money. Don't be in here. You know, but that takes a level of maturity. And sad to say he hasn't gotten there yet. And again, this is what 24-year-olds is doing. And he's just on television. Again, he doesn't get a pass because he took a job.
Right.
And that's what it is a job. But at the end of the day, it's very, very tough for to make somebody grow up faster than they ready to.
Yeah. So I do want to talk about Friends, right? I do want to talk about Friends because in both of these situations, the occurrences have been where people are pulling out their phones. And so I get that when you are with someone of a certain status and visibility, that gives you more clout, street cred, whatever y'all call it these days, and it's all good. But I think also we got to be mindful, as we've been saying, and I think this is true in this situation, and many other things are true about it as well. But you really got to watch the people around you, because come on, the clip of the song that we heard, the homeboy throwing up guns in the video, and then here he go pulling out one. You see, like you just.
Well, Kevin says that he doesn't believe is his friends is him. He calls himself Black Jesus. His humility won't come to him easily or cheap. He is about to feel it though.
That's
again,
yeah.
That's why I say he doesn't get a pass. You know what I mean? Because you got to break it down into regular people scenarios. So the majority of people can understand.
I'm glad you said that.
If I got a job, what I consider a good job, for regular people, you got you $100,000 job, $80,000, $90,000 job, whatever. Certain people, when you ain't bringing to the job with you, nah, I'm not inviting so-and-so to the picnic. Ain't no way. I ain't even pulling up in his car because he's gonna be bumping the music. It's gonna be too damn loud, and I ain't trying to draw no attention to myself going through the security gate at my job. Like, we understand that, we get that, you know what I mean? So even at 24, you like, all right, it's a funny joke that they put out. They said, I don't let my friends follow me on social media because they don't know I'm a whole thug on Facebook. Like, it's really like that. People got good sense, but it's the false narrative of thinking that he's his own entity at this particular juncture, which he can be. But you also have a job. You don't see LeBron ain't coloring outside them lines when it comes to the NBA.
Nope.
Now, he do his own thing with his own businesses, but I have yet to see LeBron James in 20 seasons color outside those lines in the NBA.
Nope.
Now, he's not perfect. Sure. Maybe he has people around him who going to clean up his dirt. But I can't talk about it because I ain't never seen it. We ain't never heard it. And he got 20 years of squeaky clean NBA stuff. And that's good. You know what I'm saying? It's to be commended. And with that example right there at your fingertips, if you don't take it, you can't say that you don't know. You can't say you ain't seen nothing like it because it's right there for you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's not a tough nut to crack, but I think this calls to attention some conversations that we need to have. One, we got to, like you were saying in the beginning, that parenting piece, that bringing up piece, especially when our kids have a certain love and passion for something, that is so important because we got to make sure that our kids stay grounded. Times are different these days. And you and I were brought up, mamas would say that, but now mama's the same age as the kids. Mama's out there just as ratchet as the kids.
Ratchet, wow.
And, the daddies out there doing what they doing. Ain't nobody really raising these babies. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were raised. We were, our behinds were cut. And I ain't gonna go down that path. But, we were raised. We had to meet the people that our kids were talking to. And we had to be around them and get to meet their parents and, check out the house and all this kind of good stuff. Like, I grew up in the ghetto. So that's what we did. We can just walk down the street to the neighbors in the hood and the projects and stuff like that and meet and go connect and all that. And all that stuff mattered. It made a difference when my sister and I were coming up. even though we grew up in those, very poor area of Colombia. But it now it's just, everything is social media on the phone. You barely know who your kid is talking to, who they're around. And again, you have a really, really young man, almost damn near fresh out of high school still, that is this instant millionaire, and it just, this struggle, his life, it is playing out before the internet. People are making jokes about it, and it's ugly. It's ugly. And so again, we just have to really kind of look at some of those root causes. And in our community specifically, we have got to start having some conversations, some real conversations. Like, so much of what we talk about on this channel is real life issues, but it's also things that's happening today. And some of the things that's always said to Jay, and I think it's a great compliment, is that he's bringing up conversations that should be happening in Black American families.
Yeah, we got to do it. It's a responsibility. But
yeah,
the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to that is just the effect on the kids coming behind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, we all looked up. I looked up to Michael Jordan, and, we looked up to the Jay-Z's of the world.
Yeah.
When he came out, I was a teenager. So like, it's what should the kids take from this, or what should parents take from this? What should parents say to their children? You know what I'm saying? In this space. All right, little bro, love you, man. With the kids, because a lot of kids gonna think that this cool, right? They're gonna think that, and some of the kids are already doing it. You know what I mean? I've seen, and it's so terrifying. I saw a video with it was in the gym at a basketball game with like a bunch of little kids. I'm talking about 13, 12, 14 with guns. And guns just at a gym. You know what I mean? Like, these little kids are tooled up. You know what I mean? Like, for real. And then so seeing you do that is making them think that that's the thing to do. Give these babies a positive something on TV to see. You know what I'm saying? Because I get it. Growing up in the hood, I didn't have much positive scenarios like that, and they probably don't have it. Probably even worse for them. But at least when they turn on TV, I know when we did, we can look at the Cosby Show, look at Family Matters, look at Fresh Prince, look at different situations. Even Martin and Gina, man. I look at them now, 30 years later, and I say, man, you know what I love about Martin? They every time they grew, for the most part, they was in the same apartment, right? Mm-hmm. Even got Fresh, they was in the same apartment. And then when they finally took off and made that money, they left it, but they did everything in that apartment. We feel like as soon as we get a couple of hours, we got to get something new. We got to move to a new place. We got to do something different. Like a lot of things happen in that one bedroom apartment. Yeah. Now, we're not thinking about that when we're young past the laughs, but now as an adult, I'm looking at like, wow, it was never talking about I got to get this new car all the time. I got to do this new thing all the time. I got to impress this person all the time. It was really going through a career, having friends, things of that nature. So we had these great narratives that we can watch. And so when you talk about what we do on this channel, it's our job to be that. That's right. It's our job to give that. Now, we don't have the reach of a Ja Morant, and we're not on here to bash the gentleman. I want him to understand that, look, it's not about you. Right. Your NBA career is going to be a blip. Literally. Like that 10, 15, whatever years you and me going to go by quick. The rest of your life is that you're going to have. And then what you put into these babies is going to last way longer than how long you play in the NBA. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that is what we need to tell people. I think they're helping them with managing their finances. They're doing this stuff. But the role, especially young Black boys, are playing with other younger Black boys in this in the NBA, NFL, whatever. It literally, you are affecting the whole community. That's right. Because when your kid is a kid that's coming home talking their Ja at 5 years old, their Ja. Mm-hmm. And that's going to tell that mother and that father to spend all godly amounts of money on AAUs and training and this training and that and sneakers and this to try to get them to be just like you. And it's a sad state of affairs if at the end of that road of them trying to get them to be just like you, they get their NBA career or their basketball career is shut down prematurely because they're playing with guns. So we got to think about that because that's the effect that you have because of a parent. A parent hearing the kids say that they want to be like you, they will really invest college type money on that kid throughout the time frame of them trying to make them just that good to be that good of a football player, that good of a basketball player. And we owe it to those mothers, those fathers, those families to give them parents something good to look up to and look forward to after making that huge investment that a lot of them really don't have.
Yeah. So just again, just another great conversation. I see we got some folks checking in from our YouTube channel. So I see Mr. Willie with the Ballin Trilogy up in here.
That's what's up.
That's awesome. So hello, thank you guys for checking in both on YouTube, on our S.T.A.R.V.E Talk channel, or on our Facebook page. We appreciate it. We love the engagements and the comments. And again, we'll continue to keep these lives coming at least weekly, but however the mood hits us, y'all know me and Jay, we'll just press the go live button. And then just get on here and we're just going to talk about the things that are important to us. But that point about burning bridges, Kevin said about burning bridges, not thinking about the responsibility from a role model perspective of the kids that's looking up to you, because the message is now conflicting. The message is now confusing. The message is, so we just got to think about everything. And I know sometimes when you're in the moment, you're not really thinking, you're just so caught up in what's going on. Because I believe that if he was in himself at that moment, realizing and could kind of see where these ramifications could go, that a different decision would have been made.
Well, I think he was not. I think he was in himself. Again, we can't stress the fact that this is a kid, man.
Right.
You're not ready at 24 to really handle that type of money. So you got to have a great team around you. You got to have people around you that you're going to listen to. And it's hard to tell a teenager or a kid or a young adult to get around disciplinarians.
Right.
Especially individuals that want to be around disciplinarians, man. But they're far and in between. Like, you got to want to be around people who are going to tell you what to do for your best interest because you're still a kid. A lot of the developmental things that from the time he was 19 or 20 when he got drafted to now that you would have went through if you was just a regular person, like you would have still been in Murray State, you would have graduated maybe a year or two ago, and you would have went through those classes, those final exams, you know what I'm saying, the girlfriend that you would have had at the time, like all this stuff to try. You would have traveled to this person's house, that person's house, and all those experiences were usurped by, I'm about to take this check and I'm going here now. Now I'm on private jets. Now I'm all over the place. Now I'm this, I'm that. And that stuff got to still happen, especially in men. The growing up still has to happen.
Yes.
So you don't get to skip that part. That part is never going to be skipped. It's going to happen at the wrong time probably, but it's definitely going to happen. So he's having these experiences in front of the world, and it sucks for him. At the same time, in this country, and most countries, you are a grown man. And I'm sure you're quick to say it if anybody ever challenged you. Yep. So because you know that, you are held responsible for it. Only ignorance is bliss. But once you have the knowledge, you are totally responsible for the things that you know, and you know right from wrong. Mm-hmm. That's not right. Period. There's no way. If you pull out a gun, you're taught, if you really street, you pull out a gun, you're supposed to use it. Yep. The street people was taught that when I was growing up. We were told, don't pull that thing out, you ain't about to do nothing with it. So we didn't get caught playing with guns. Obviously, this generation believes that that's the cool thing to do. No, we understood that those wasn't for play. So I'll share that information with you too, young brother. That thing is not for play. That thing is for some serious business. But most importantly, it's for protection. Mm-hmm. It's for protection. And you have that right to protect yourself. But both times that you were caught on camera, it wasn't a situation where you were in harm's way.
Right.
And then you have another bunch of things that they're running off and saying that you pulled out a gun or you did something very aggressive, like just because. So you're building a track record for yourself, and they're paying close attention to that. So I wish you the best of luck, brother. I know everybody don't, and I get it. That's their opinion. I do wish you the best of luck. Um, I hope his family come around him and they really be willing to say, "Hey, look, I don't care if you mad at me or not. We got to get this. We got to tighten up." And for everybody, keep this conversation going. You got to chat. You have, if you come in a replay, especially on Facebook and on YouTube as well, put your comments on there. We go back and we answer comments. We respond. We can do a response video, a one-off video, just to respond to you. We're not gonna leave you out there and leave you hanging. So, but keep the conversation going, because that's what's supposed to happen. It's positive conversation. It's supposed to keep going, not just sitting there bad mouthing the young brother and then moving on. Like, say your piece, you know what I'm saying? But then let's talk solution-based conversation so that we can move on and see what we can do. And even if it don't work for him, maybe it'll work for one of these next babies that's coming behind, because it's coming up fast and furious.
Yep. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us, hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Again, if you are not a subscriber of S.T.A.R.V.E Talks YouTube channel, go ahead and do that. youtube.com/@S.T.A.R.V.E Talk. Content is produced on a daily basis, where again, we talk about the subjects that are real, that are impactful. Jay shares his take. He answers questions. So if you have a question that you want him to specifically answer, you can send it to me or him, and we'll make sure that we add that into our content rotation so that you can get the answers that you are looking for. We cover a variety of topics on there, so go ahead and just check us out. Make sure you're following S.T.A.R.V.E Talk on all platforms. Make sure you are following at I am J Halim on all platforms as well.
And your platform, what's
and it's your girl Tamika L. Sims. So make sure that y'all are connected with me also. This is my roadie, okay?
And
so
send those questions
to him, give it to me.
Send those questions too, and we'll say your name.
Yeah.
Put it out there. So we want you guys to be a part of the page. YouTube page is doing very well. It's a new page. And it's been a great situation. So yeah, stay tuned with us, and we continuously adding new programming. So keep in tune with what we're doing. Much love to you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening on the East Coast and afternoon out here on the West Side.
On the West Side. So we'll see you guys next time, and we'll see you in our next live stream. Bye.